Ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant good evening to everybody, or I should have said good late afternoon. Welcome to another episode of another live stream on the Lewis Sports Network. It is your boy Lewis coming back at you once again with another heavy hitter banger with yet another live stream. Make sure to smash the like button, hit that subscribe button, make sure your notifications are turned on, make sure you're sharing your social medias on Reddit. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Hope everybody is having a wonderful Tuesday, mostly Tuesday afternoon, and once again also heading into our Tuesday evening. So shout out to everybody in the chat. Truly appreciate you guys taking the time to be with me on this video. And before I get started, I just want to thank you guys for helping me reach to 850 subscribers. I truly appreciate that. I wouldn't have got there without the help of you guys. So I truly appreciate the milestone getting to 850. So I want to thank you guys, and let's help the Lewis Sports Network get on that road to 1,000. We are 150 subscribers away. I truly appreciate everybody always taking the time to showing support, liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and sharing the videos. I appreciate it. So let's say hello to the chat while we come in. Shout out to Toby. He was the first one in here. Truly appreciate that, man. Always showing support. Chief fans has said, did you move the time? I had did originally because I thought I was going to be doing something, so I ended up moving the time. And so I kind of told him that. Again, guys, smash that like button starting at 7 p.m. Hit that subscribe button as you guys come in if you're new to the channel. Make sure you're sharing this on your social media outlets. As always, I continue to say, truly appreciate that. So let's continue. Again, shout out to Sports Expert, and I already spoke to you, and I already put it in the chat. So I will be hitting you up on Twitter for our Thursday live stream. Again, yes. And shout out to Karam in the building. He says, "Yo, Lewis, what's good, man? What's up?" He says that he thinks the Thunder can be a dark horse team in the West that nobody's talking about. We'll definitely see him about that. Shout out to Ron. He said, "Let's get it." All right, let's get it. Shout out to Bronco Fanatic. Appreciate you coming in through already through the stream. Already we got 6 people watching. Again, guys, I encourage you to like the video so this could get more recognition on YouTube so that we could get more people to hopefully come in. Again, shout out to Lakers fans and shout out to Clippers fans. Let's get it, man. Let's get it. And shout out to Ultimate Champ. Appreciate you coming through, my man. Appreciate it. Shout out to Ron, as I said. Shout out to Ryan. Let's get it, man. My man is popping that bottle. He's got the claps. He's saying, let's get it. Definitely, we are going to get it on the Lewis Sports Network. All right, let's get to it, ladies and gentlemen. So, you guys already know. I'm going to switch the thumbnail. We're about to get on here. We're going to get some little overlay here on this channel. Check it out. Voila. On the Lewis Sports Network, we got Anthony Davis. We got LeBron James. We got the person that he's pointing to right there, J.R. Smith. LeBron's pointing because that's right. I mean, it's a good thing you're pointing at LeBron. See, LeBron in the thumbnail wanted you guys to know that the Lakers just acquired J.R. Smith. Look at that. And then you have Paul George and you got Kawhi Leonard. So Lakers versus Clippers. We are talking Lakers versus Clippers preview. Again, shout out to Clippers fans and Lakers fans everywhere. If you are a fan of either one of these teams, this is the video for you. Ultimate Champ, he says he already has got the Clippers in 5 if they're to meet in the playoffs. Bronco Fanatic says, don't be shocked if the Rockets make the NBA Finals. I will be a little bit shocked just because of the whole Westbrook and Harden dynamic in terms of their style of play. I probably might make a Houston Rockets video. Shout out to Ultimate Champ. He says, Henny God. Karam says, if the Rockets playing the Thunder, they are going down in the first round. Are you talking about the Rockets playing? Are you talking about the Rockets going down in the first round? Again, guys, make sure to subscribe to Caden's channel. Appreciate that as well. He's really getting up there. He's pretty close to 500 subscribers. I believe he's around in the 460s already, and he's growing pretty fast. So if you guys could show him some support, I'm pretty sure some of you guys have already subscribed to his channel here. But if you guys haven't, go subscribe to Caden Alvis and make sure to go subscribe to his channel. He's producing great content. Bronco says he's got the Lakers in 7 against the Clippers. Okay, so if you guys know, the NBA season is going to be back, and the Lakers are going to play the Clippers on July 30th. I will be going live. So make sure that you guys pull up for the live stream for that, because I am going live for the Lakers and Clippers. I'm actually I'm going to create the thumbnail for that on July 30th. Even though that's a long days away, I'm going to be doing that. So I'm going to create the thumbnail, set that up for July 30th, and definitely you guys will pull up for the live stream. I'm doing live basketball talk It's going to be with my main man, D. Jefferson at Speak Your Mind Sports Talk. So make sure you subscribe to his channel and make sure that you guys pull up. I believe this is going to be on my channel. If not, it'll be on his. We'll find a way to work it out. But we will be streaming together. So it will be commentary basketball play-by-play with Lewis and D. Jefferson, July 30th, Lakers versus Clippers. I might even pull off a doubleheader and do Jazz versus Pelicans, where we got Donovan Mitchell against Zion Williamson. So I might even do that one. Okay. So Karam says Clippers fans should be scared in a couple of years when they lose Kawhi and PG-13 because they might be Lakers. They might be Lakers. There's a lot of uncertainty because we don't know how long Kawhi Leonard and Paul George will be together as as Clippers, only because there's a little bit of uncertainty in Lakerland themselves with what Anthony Davis might do. So, you know, considering that, we're gonna have to wait and see. What's gonna be the situation after this season? Does AD stay or does he go? If he ends up going, does LeBron go? That's gonna be really interesting. Uh, but they should be a little bit. Lakers roster isn't as good as the Clippers. The Clippers have the better players. That's Ultimate Champ's opinion. And guess what? Some of their first round picks also go to OKC. Well, they already went there after they traded Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. So that is going to hurt the Clippers that they don't really have any picks, for their future drafts. And Karam says so that could be a top 10 protected pick. Absolutely. PG-13 will definitely lead the Clippers when he's a free agent. I got a question for you. If PG-13 does lead the Clippers, what team do you think he goes to? I mean, could he even possibly go to the Lakers? Because people have to also remember that LeBron is getting older. He will be 36 at the start of next season, and next season starts on December 1st of 2020. That is the projected start currently right now. AD should go to the Miami Heat. I've been hearing rumors about that. I've been hearing rumors that he possibly might be, going to the Miami Heat. I don't know that for sure, but obviously they're just rumors. All right, so let me get to the J.R. Smith signing because that to me is pretty much the dominating topic. I'm gonna have to look into that. And Bronco says he should go there, and he says which teams have a max slot in 2021. Well, I know Golden State is going to be one of them. That I know. I know that the Golden State Warriors are one of the teams that are actually going to have a max slot. Again, if you guys haven't, smash the like and hit that subscribe button for the Lewis Sports Network, Lakers, Clippers. Ron says he doesn't know about the Rockets going ultra small. It's going to work. Remember, it got exposed by none other than the Knicks, and D'Antoni doesn't usually have a plan B. That's my concern about the Houston Rockets. The thing is, Russell Westbrook and James Harden are going to have to be superhuman. And PJ Tucker at 6'5", playing center, yeah, that concerns me because all teams have to do is be able to slow the game down, and I don't think the Rockets are going to be as effective in the half court. They're going to have to really force teams to run. And my question is, what type of style is James Harden going to be playing? Because if he really thinks that that's going to be winning basketball, I just don't know if it might happen. They really should have signed Swaggy P instead of J.R. Smith. All right. So what are your guys' thoughts about the Lakers picking up J.R. Smith, signing with the Lakers? Because the way I see it, I'm looking at it as, didn't J.R. Smith get blamed for losing the series against the Warriors when he was with the Cavs after game one? But for some reason, they decided to pair him back up with LeBron. I mean, I even kind of looked at a guy like Lance Stevenson. Why didn't the Lakers pick him up? I mean, they said that LeBron likes playmakers, so Lance Stevenson can make plays. He may not be a consistent shooter, but he could definitely penetrate to the rack. I'm just saying, man, you know, anything is possible with J.R. Smith. Anything is possible. I'm just wondering if that's really a good move for the Lakers, considering that they got J.R. Smith. Now, I will say, I want you guys to tell me what are the positives with J.R. Smith coming to the Lakers. What does he bring to the Lakers that can actually help them? Because I'm not gonna go, just take a dump on him, just because he's been Hennessy Smith, and because I definitely know that he's going to be the focus right now, right? Again, guys, continue to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys are sharing this on social media. Shout out to G Money in the building. Let me see. Bronco says he thinks that they can beat the Clippers with him, but not the Lakers because of AD. Oh, but I think what he's trying to say is he thinks that the Clippers cannot beat the Lakers because of AD. AD is going to be a problem. G Money says I think JR could help the Lakers. Bronco says he's not as good as Avery Bradley, but he does have chemistry with LeBron. LeBron is giving J.R. Smith another chance. Lance is a better option, and they already got Dion Waiters. Braun should have drove past Curry for the layup or dunk, but people only just want to blame JR for that. He says, "What's up, Bronco?" He says, "Shooting." Shout out to Daniel Berry in the building. He says, "What's up, Louis to go? Appreciate you." G Money says JR could hit the three, put the ball on the floor. He's a decent defender, and he is athletic. Now, my concerns with J.R. Smith is I know he does bring. Yeah, JR was ostracized for that, so I don't understand why the media is all of a sudden praising him. Shannon Sharp detonated on J.R. Smith. So did Nick Wright. So did Chris Carter. Um, Colin Cowherd got on him. Who else? Brian Windhorst. Need I go further? A lot of people were ostracizing J.R. Smith. Stephen A. Smith. Now you're telling me that now that this is the greatest move ever by getting J.R. Smith. Now, like G Money said, he brings 3-point shooting. He can play solid defense, and it's crazy that he never gets enough credit for what he did in the 2016 NBA Finals. You know, playing solid defense on what's his face, Klay Thompson, hitting big shots in the NBA Finals. He doesn't get enough credit for that. The only thing that he's remembered for is dribbling the ball after the offensive rebound, and I actually give him credit on that. I mean, they don't talk about how he adjusted Iguodala to force him to take a more, difficult layup and then force him to adjust, which also helped LeBron get that block on him. So I'm just gonna switch and get on the thumbnails real quick before I get back and talking about J.R. Smith. Let me just switch the thumbnails and get the focus on him right now. There he is. Anything is possible. J.R. Hennessy Smith. There he is. He is your new Los Angeles Laker. Now, my question is, how do you think he is going to do in a Laker uniform? I meant the Rockets could beat the Clippers with the small ball lineup, but not the Lakers because of AD. But here's the thing. Here's the thing, Bronco. The Clippers actually adjusted to the small ball lineup, and the Rockets have problems. So I think the only way that the Rockets beat them is if the Clippers play their style. It's the same with the Lakers because I know the Lakers and the Clippers are both better teams than Houston. The key thing is if they play to Houston's style, that's where the Clippers or the Lakers can lose. Now, I'm not going to say the series because I think both teams are better and they'll make their adjustments. But that's why I think that the Rockets are going to struggle. I just don't, because the thing is, if you look at the Lakers and the Clippers, they have more size. They have more size than the Rockets. And like I said, are you really trying to put PJ Tucker at 6'5" to guard Anthony Davis? Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't see the Rockets beating the Clippers at all. The only way I see it, they both. And thank you, Caden, for the update. He says that today is the last day of the NBA transaction window. Yeah, today it was from the 23rd to the 30th. And the thing is, Houston is not a consistent defensive team. That's why I'm sorry. You got to play defense to win in this league. I know defense isn't everything in today's era, but you got to play some form of defense. And I'm sorry, the Houston Rockets are not a consistent defensive team for me to say that I think that they can knock off the Clippers. Bronco says that he thinks that Paul George could go to the Knicks in 2021 if RJ Barrett develops or if they get another star. I don't know about that because I told you nobody's going to that team unless James Dolan sells the team. Unless James Dolan sells the team, And the key thing is gonna be our development. I think for us, we're gonna have to develop and we're gonna have to draft. Shout out to Low Key T in the building. Appreciate you. Make sure you guys go subscribe to his channel. Like I said, anything is possible when it comes to J.R. Smith, man. But he's gonna average the amount of points, probably maybe like it is on his jersey. J.R. Swisher Sweet. No, I don't think the Rockets have more firepower. I disagree with that, G Money. I don't think so. I don't think so. Russ is not a good 3-point shooter, so that's going to hurt. What kind of offense are they really going to run? I don't think their offense is going to be conducive to winning, especially if they have to adjust. Like I said, the only way I see the Rockets winning, James Harden and Russell Westbrook have to go off, and it's going to be if other teams adjust to the way they play, and they're not a good defensive team. The Thunder play defense by forcing turnovers. That's the best strength they have. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. With OKC, they can force turnovers, but then that would concern me with OKC, even though they're not expected to do as much. But like I said, OKC has done a brilliant job, with their team. I think that with them, OKC, they're gonna have to force turnovers because then if they can't force turnovers, then it has to be a matter of playing consistently good defense and being able to just contest shots. And you have to really finish over the top, over them. Yeah, so far I got the Rockets as a second round exit. I don't think they're going that deep. With JR, you never know. I mean, I agree with you. I agree with you, low key. But the key thing is the Rockets are gonna have to play that pace. If they play that pace, then AD's gonna have a hard. Just gonna have a hard time for sure. If they play that pace, he's gonna have a hard time. Ron says, with JR, you never know. With him, you have to keep it simple. Despite his ISO skills, keep it simple. Play defense and hit the open shot like in Cleveland. That's gonna have to be the key. Like Russ and Harden, PG is inconsistent in the playoffs. I just think Russ and Harden will go off because they have their moments. I hate to disagree with you, and that's your opinion. But the thing is, I will say that although PG is inconsistent, well, I'm not going to say he's more consistent than Russ and Harden, but I'm going to say that to me, he's better. He's a little bit better than Russ and Harden are. The thing is that even though if Russ, and like I said, they're going to have to play well. My question is when Russ and Harden struggle, who's going to be able to step up for them? They lost Clint Capella, so they already lost sides, which to me was dumb. Are they going to start Tyson Chandler? Are they going to give him minutes? Or is Mike D'Antoni going to be ignorant and have them continue to try to play that small ball to see if they can beat the Lakers or the Clippers? The Celtics do play small ball too. The difference is, though, they're coaching. The difference with Boston is even though they play small ball and they don't have as much size, the key is their coaching. Shout out to Chiefs fan in the building. Appreciate you. That's the thing. I'm not saying he can't go off, but G Money, Aaron Gordon is also another feast of famine player. That's gonna be the key because then it's not gonna mean as much if he does if he that's the thing that the Rockets they're gonna have to find a way to be consistent, and in the playoffs you can't be inconsistent in a 7-game series, especially if you don't have anything else that can make up for it. Because my question is, if they take away the plan A from the Houston Rockets, what's Mike D'Antoni's plan B? That's my problem. That's my problem. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Hey Ryan, if Harden plays against Lugents, don't wait. What were you trying to say with that, Karam? If he plays against Lugents, do you think he's going to be shut down? I mean, they will put Lugents on him. And like I said with James Harden, people have to also understand that the whistles are not going to be as kind to James Harden as they are in the regular season. So what does that mean? What does that mean in the playoffs? I get what you're saying, G Money, but I feel that the Rockets are much more inconsistent than the Clippers are. That's why I give a more fair share to the Clippers. And like I said, when the Clippers adjusted and made the Rockets play their style of play, the Rockets struggled. So, and I don't trust Mike D'Antoni as a coach. I'm not trying to hate on the Houston. I'm just saying for what it is. Now, if the Clippers do lose, then I'll give the Rockets credit. But it's like I said before, what's Mike D'Antoni's plan B if his plan A gets shut down? Because Mike D'Antoni has shown a history of when you take away his plan A, he doesn't have a plan B. That's a problem. Chiefs fan. Again, shout out to Chiefs fan in the building. Oh no, that's right. Yeah. Fans who have not really watched the OKC Thunder or anything like that, they haven't heard of Lou. But I know they're gonna put him on Harden, in the playoffs. So like I said, G Money, I really think. Oh no, Doc is gonna be tested, and I really feel like for me, it's really more so against the Lakers. Now he can't be overlooking these other teams, and we have to see how things play out. So he cannot overlook them. And yeah, he's had moments where he's given up leads. I've questioned at times his lineups. Of course, I'm not gonna sit here and deny that. I'm just saying compared to the Rockets, no. I think the Clippers will beat. I think the Clippers will beat them. I think the Clippers will beat the Rockets. Because James Harden, when he lost to the Warriors, he said he figured out what he needs to do. But if you notice, they're so focused on the Warriors. I'm like, the Warriors are not a good team. So what they need to do is they're going to have to focus on their matchups. And I'm sorry, when I look at the Clippers and the Lakers, they don't. They the key thing is their small ball is going to have to be that good against the more bigger lineups of the Clippers and the Lakers, because the Clippers can change their lineups. The Clippers have a more versatile lineup than the Rockets do. And like I said before, they need size out there. So are they going to play Tyson Chandler? Is he going to get minutes, or is he going to be riding the bench, or is he going to play as much? Shout out to 6'2" 200 coming through in the building. You are. Appreciate that again, guys. Like the video. Like the video. Make sure that you guys are subscribing to the channel if you guys are new. You said, oh, you mean the basketball team? Yeah, there's a lot of women who are stepping out due to what's going on. So they decided some of them are even focusing on social justice, which is why they're not doing it. But also, my question also is that not just about J.R. Smith, but then what do you guys think about J.R. Smith and Dion Waiters? Like, Dion Waiters is an isolation player. See, with J.R. Smith, at least he has experience with LeBron, so he'll understand his role. But now, can they incorporate Dion Waiters into being a spot-up shooter? Dion Waiters is not really much of a defender. He needs to have the ball in his hands because he's more of an isolation player. He's one-on-one. So now it's like, can the Lakers incorporate him into becoming part of that system? And Frank Vogel, listen, as good of a job as he's done, I'm wondering what kind of system are the Lakers going to play in the playoffs? Are they going to try to play a little bit of equal opportunity offense, or are they going to play the LeBron system? See, that's my thing. LeBron system is favorable in certain matchups. And then I also have to ask you guys this, and let me know in the comment section, who is the bigger loss? Is it potentially Lou Williams for the Los Angeles Clippers if he decides to sit out? Or is it Avery Bradley who chose to sit out to focus on his family? Which one do you think is going to be the bigger loss? For me, I think if Lou Williams ends up sitting out, it's a huge blow for the Clippers, and it exposes Montrezl Harrell more because he thrives well in a pick and roll. He thrives very well in the pick and roll with Lou Williams, and Montrezl Harrell doesn't really, to me, defend consistently. And I think that AD can force him out of the paint if he was able to pretty much shoot jump shots. If he could just take him out and pretty much shoot the jumper, take him out of the paint, that would actually open the floor for LeBron for actually more drives. But I also think that another concern is also AD doesn't like the bang. He's not about the physicality, and he doesn't like playing the five. He would rather be at the four. So I also have to look at also. I feel like they can really exploit that Montrezl Harrell matchup, considering that if Lou Williams does sit out. Okay. Ron says for the Rockets, we're going to get rid of Capella to play ultra small. They needed to get or already have a versatile stretch big for that style to work. And that's also another problem. They don't I mean they got some pieces. They do have some pieces, but I just don't think their pieces are gonna be enough by the time that the playoffs come. They'll get out of the first round, I believe, but I think that they're a second round exit. I don't think the Rockets are going deep. Um, I just also really think that the league really wants this Lakers Clippers conference finals for me. So that's what I think. Karam says Dion Waiters was in OKC. Yeah, he was in OKC. I thought he played solid, but I feel like OKC kind of went away from him as the series kind of went further. They kind of went. They became so ISO dependent on Westbrook and Durant. So Ultimate Champ says, who do you think can beat the Bucks in the Eastern Conference? I think the Sixers, if they're consistent, because they match up really well with them. If Miami had a better off, if they were to figure out their offense, they can definitely beat the Bucks. Toronto still has the defense minus Kawhi Leonard. I'm really looking forward to see what Pascal Siakam is going to be now that Kawhi Leonard's not there in the playoffs. So but I look at if Miami can fix their offense, I can see them because they're a pretty good defensive team. So I think Solomon Hill, Jay Crowder, and I know Iguodala is 36, but they're going to be looking to depend on those guys. They're trying to be good at three-point shooting. I'm looking for Jimmy Butler to now be the Jimmy Buckets because I feel like he hasn't really been Jimmy Buckets this season. He's kind of taken a step back. I mean, we've seen the development of Kendrick Nunn. Tyler Hero's had a good year. Duncan Robinson. Um, Kelly Olynyk at times has played solid. But I think Derrick Jones Jr., the slam dunk champion. So Miami can be a dark horse in that Eastern Conference. Don't sleep on the Toronto Raptors because they still have the principles. Uh, especially doing it by committee. So we got to wait and see. But I think if the Sixers, I know the Sixers, they lost their go-to closer. They're inconsistent. They don't have as much shooting, and Tobias has not had a great year. But I think if they were to, and I feel like Brett Brown, I just don't think he's the coach of that team. But I think if the Sixers find a way to get it together, they are probably the one team more than anybody in the Eastern Conference that can knock off the Bucks. They're the one team because they match up with them well. And Giannis even struggles with height. And B did a pretty good job in their regular season matchup. And when Giannis struggled, the whole team struggled. So that's how reliant they are on Giannis because they don't have a second dominant player. Chris Middleton is a solid all-star player, but he's not a dominant player. You're not looking at Chris Middleton to take over a game. Yep, both of them are addicts. One with gummies, one with weed. Yeah, he's more of an offensive player than defensive player. Yep, Lou Will, Lou Will. Yep, stay off the weed. Yep. Yeah, Lou Will. I have to see the other clips other than Kawhi and Harold to show they can go far, but we will see. If the Clips lose Lou Will, I don't see them in the Western Conference Finals. I still think they're deep enough to get there, but I don't think they're going to the NBA Finals. That's for sure. Isolation players don't fare well with the LeBron system. That's another problem, which is why I think that this is going to be what's the playoff format? Oh, we haven't seen the playoff format yet. Right now we're just looking at this is just a preview in terms of the two teams because they're playing on July 30th. The playoff format will be determined by the end of the last 8 games of the regular season because teams have played, what is it, 63, 64 games at this point. So some teams are going to end with either 71 games or 72, depending. The Celtics can beat the Bucks. It's possible too because I think the Celtics, they match up pretty well with them too. The best team that could beat the Bucks are the Sixers or the Heat. The Celtics are up and down. Yeah, I agree with that. Oh, the NBA is definitely capping for that Lakers Clippers matchup. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think the Raptors, they really need that go-to superstar for me. I don't know. I don't know about Pascal Siakam. Shout out to the Sports Critic. Make sure you guys go show love to the Sports Critic and subscribe to his channel. I know that he will be on Alex Sports' channel, and be doing sports talk with him at, I believe it's at 8 p.m. But shout out to the Sports Critic. He is an Orlando Magic fan, and make sure you go show him some love if you guys haven't and subscribe to his channel. The Sixers can't be inconsistent in the postseason. Yeah, that's the thing. I question Brett Brown's rotations, and I'm going to question his coaching. Ben Simmons can't shoot, so that's a problem. And Embiid shoots too much. That's a problem. Raptors don't have a true go-to guy to beat the Bucks. J.R. Smith signing is overrated. Al Horford doesn't fit in the Sixers system, in my opinion. Oh, I agree with you. I agree. Al Horford just requests a trade next year. You think that's what he should do? If you think Al Horford requests a trade, what team should he go to? He says the Clippers are going to beat the Lakers anyway. I mean, might see. Also, I feel that the NBA wanted the Lakers in the NBA Finals to get them to uplift LeBron's legacy. Yeah, possible. The problem with the Sixers is chemistry, and Brett Brown is not a championship level coach. I think the Sixers are a second round exit, in my personal opinion. They're a second round exit. Everything is going to have to fall together for them to go deep, for them to make a deep playoff run. The issue with last year was that bounce shot by Kawhi Leonard. That's what killed them. But other than that, they could have been in the conference finals. They could have been there. Again, ladies and gentlemen, continue to smash that like button, hit that subscribe button for the Lewis Sports Network. Now, since we're looking at potential matchups, as we got LeBron versus Kawhi Leonard, I know the Battle of LA is going to be between LeBron and Kawhi. But I wanted to get to an article. Actually, I wanted to get to a Twitter of Miss Rachel Nichols because she decided. No, what was her latest tweet? No, what was her latest tweet? Trying to see what her latest tweet was. Here we go. Where is it? Where is it? As soon as I can find it. Also, no. Where is it? She had talked about the J.R. Smith signing. She was saying that the J.R. Smith signing was like a box of chocolates. I was like, what? She was like, it's the box of chocolates, and it's the move that put the Lakers over the hump. Also, what was it? Draymond Buck Dancing Donkey Green came out and said that he feels that the Lakers are the favorites against the Clippers. Here's why he said that. Here's why he said that. In this article, he says the Lakers have got to be the favorite because they got LeBron and he can adjust to anything. He said Tuesday. I think he's probably the most disciplined player we've ever seen in the NBA, and that's going to matter going into this bubble. I think having LeBron on your team going into this bubble gives you a slight advantage. Now, why would he say that? He says he originally thought the Clippers were the best team throughout the season after adding Paul George and Kawhi in the offseason. They check all the boxes. They can match up with any team. This is what he said about the Clippers. However, the league's hiatus due to the what's going on is enough to change the title favorites in green eyes. According to Caesars, the Lakers are currently the favorites to win an NBA championship with plus 180 odds, even though the Milwaukee Bucks have the best record in the NBA. Green did know he believes winning the title will come with a form of an asterisk, even if it's not in the record books. Fans will remember the championship as part of the disruptive season and count it against a player's resume. Here's the thing. The media is going to say that when LeBron wins the title, it's going to count. If any other player wins the title, it's not going to count and it's an asterisk. I already know. I already see the writing on the wall with this. I already see it. I already see it. This does not surprise me. My thing is that it's the bias. It's not the fact that people can't even be objective on this. You just can't. Let's see. Let me just go back a little bit. Yep. The Clippers have way more depth than the Lakers. Sixers might have won the chip if the bounce did not happen. I don't know about winning the championship. I know that they'll go deep. I do know also that they would have presented problems in terms of Embiid on the inside. Kawhi is more clutch than LeBron. Not having Lou Will would be a huge loss for the Clippers. Absolutely. I'm telling you right now, if Lou Will goes out, the Clippers are not going to the NBA Finals. If Lou Will does not play, the Clippers are not going to the NBA Finals. They're not. Okay, 6'4", 200 is personal opinion. Kawhi is better than LeBron. He says you have a point. Is Kawhi stronger than LeBron? Yet to be determined. He's 3-6. In my opinion, we will see Bron and AD unleash in the playoffs, but time will tell. My issue is not LeBron and Anthony Davis. My issue is the other players. Because right now, Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee are practicing their three-point shots. You have two centers who have never been known to shoot practicing their three-pointers. That concerns me. That's telling me that they're going to implement the LeBron system. That concerns me. JR is inconsistent, but he is clutch in big moments. My issue is with JR Smith is that I see what he brings, and like I said, he has experience with LeBron. My issue with him, though, my concern with JR is going to be his IQ. If he doesn't play well, are they going to give him a pass? Because he hadn't played. Because remember, JR has not played in a year and a half. Last official game he played in the regular season or playoffs or finals was November 29th of 2018. November 29th of 2018, before he was sent home by the Cavaliers. Shout out to Sports Expert. Show him some love and subscribe to his channel. He says he's here. Appreciate that. True, Braun has choked in the playoffs, but he's had huge moments too. It's a give or take. So well, yep. Rachel Nichols, the queen of non-credibility, back at it again. Oh, yeah. And then if you just heard Draymond, he said LeBron is definitely going to do it because he can adjust to anything. He can adjust to anything. Okay. That's a bold statement with Kawhi on the team. The thing is, it's a huge. The reason I say that, Richard, is, well, I don't know if you was referring to the chat or from what I was saying with losing Lou Will. The reason being is because of the scoring off the bench. That's huge. And I feel like that's going to change Montrezl Harrell's game a little bit. Even though they have Reggie Jackson, now Reggie Jackson has to step into the role that Lou Will is. So they're going to have to expect more out of him. It's kind of similar, but I think Green, Howard, Rondo, Waiters, maybe JR will come through, but we will see what unfolds. Danny Green, I like Danny Green. He is a little bit older because he's 33. He does have a little bit of a knee problem. Danny Green, it was crazy because Danny Green, he gave you one good game in the NBA Finals, but it was kind of all what you needed because of the other guys. So he was on a deep team. He was on a deep team last year with the Raptors. Dion Waiters, I don't know what you're gonna get out of Dion Waiters. J.R. Smith, we got to see what we get out of J.R. too. So that's a remain to be seen. I know what J.R. Smith brings, but remember, this guy got crucified, ostracized for one game in the 2018 NBA Finals. After that, the entire media flipped on this guy, and they started to blame him as to why LeBron couldn't win the series in 2018. When all I kept hearing was that, well, they weren't going to beat the Warriors anyway. I didn't expect them to beat the Warriors, but I thought the Cavs were good to be competitive. Three of the games were close. J.R. Smith was with the Cavs. Yes, he was. If AD can kill the Warriors in the playoffs, I could see him killing the Clips down low. That's the thing. Because in the fourth quarter, AD started to take more jump shots. That's why I said that IQ has to come into play. If they can't stop you inside, stick to what you're doing until they try to stop it. That's what I'm saying. I saw it in the regular season game. Now, regular season game, playoffs are different. The Lakers won their last game. They gave the Lakers a pretty difficult schedule. The Clippers have a pretty difficult one in themselves. If we look at the schedule for the Lakers and Clippers, let's see. Let me type in Lakers schedule once again. Smash the like, hit that subscribe. I'm gonna go to news. Okay, here is the schedule brought to you by DraftKings.com. Appreciate DraftKings for that. Okay, here's the Lakers schedule. I mean, if they do sign Jamal Crawford, but the thing is, the transaction period does end today. I wonder if the NBA would allow the Clippers to sign Jamal Crawford. Oh, he said what I want out of Cleveland doesn't want to be a part of the rebuild. Yeah, I know. Um, Richard says I was talking about Lou, but that's what I was gonna say. Reggie is a great backup guard with a good pick and roll game. Yeah, I just his just role would increase if Lou Will's out. Danny Green did ball out in games 1 and 3 in the finals. Reggie Jackson was great in OKC. When he went to Detroit, he kind of sucked it up. And if Lou doesn't play, wouldn't be surprised if you see Jamal Crawford on the team. I felt Bron, Hill, Ty Lue should get some blame for that game one loss. It was a mix of a lot of people. Draymond said what he said because he's with Clutch Sports. Exactly. Exactly. I tell you, Draymond doing a lot of bug dancing talking right now. And Draymond's not doing it because of what he believes. Because they're just gonna say, oh, but he felt the Clippers, why can't he change his mind? It's because Draymond is showing a bias. It's not showing any objective bone in his body. And for disrespecting Steph Curry, you should be focusing on that instead of focusing on Jordan and Pippen and you know the Lakers and Clippers. You really need to focus on yourself when you said you can average 20 and 10 on a bad team. And the thing is, at the end of the day, we could train all they want, man. But at the end of the day, you got to win on the basketball court. You got to put it on. You got to put it on the floor. That's where it counts. All right. So the Lakers have. So let me see. Look at the. What do you guys think on the Lakers' record when they return? Okay. So they got the Clippers on Thursday. That's a TNT game. They actually changed it to 9 o'clock. I thought it was going to be 8 o'clock, but it's not. I mean, 10:30, but it's actually going to be 9 o'clock. So I'm guessing that the Jazz and the Pelicans are going to be at 7 o'clock. Um, then they got the Toronto Raptors on Saturday at 8:30. They are going to be again. Obviously, there's no home court advantage. This is in Orlando, so they play at 8:30 on the network. Then they got the Utah Jazz August 3rd on the network at 9 o'clock. Then they got Oklahoma City August 5th on Wednesday at 6:30. Then they play the Houston Rockets on Thursday. So they're in a back to back. They got OKC and Houston back to back at 9. Then they got the Indiana Pacers, another team in the playoffs. I expect them to beat them, even though that is Indiana will play hard. That's a 6 p.m. Eastern time, August 8th. Then on August 10th, they got the Denver Nuggets. And wait, I gotta see what's going on with Jokic, because he is right now sick with the can't really say it against Denver, August 10th on Monday, and then they end the season against the Sacramento Kings on the 13th. These games are all tough because Sacramento is fighting for a playoff spot. Sacramento is the only team that's fighting for a playoff spot. All the other teams are in the playoffs. So the Lakers got 7 playoff teams. They already have. They already got them. All right. Cavs could have been up 2-1 if they executed. Yeah. Don't forget the Clippers also have Marcus Morris. Oh, that's right. That's right. We got Marcus Morris. Yeah, Draymond is high. Marcus Morris is nice, but he is a hothead. So is his brother Markeith. Let's forget that. They are twins. Draymond Green is the most annoying NBA player, for real. I think the Lakers show have that game, not gonna lie. Jazz and Bells, I think the series is gonna be tied at 2 for some reason. I think the Lakers and the Clippers will be tied at 2 games apiece. I think the Lakers will do that. Um, I can't stand them with a passion. Man, Marcus is just fine, bro. Yeah, I wouldn't say he's a hothead. He plays with a chip, but doesn't just start to just doesn't start stuff to start pretty much to start it. I got what you're saying. If Dion Waiters can't play his game, I don't know if he can help the Lakers. And I saw a video of him looking chunky and out of shape. Is this recent? If this is recent, I mean he has a whole month to get in shape. But hopefully the Lakers are advising him to get in shape, because if they're not doing that, I would be very concerned. Very, very, very concerned. I'd be very concerned. So we got the battle of the dynamic duos right here, where we got LeBron and AD going up against Kawhi Leonard, or Stephen A likes to say Kawhi Leonard, and Paul George. And like I said, the NBA is really going to be pushing these two teams to be in the Western Conference Finals. I'm pretty sure of it. It's for ratings, especially with the fact that everybody is sitting right now. I'm telling you, they are really going to push for these two teams to be on here. And ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys pull up from my Miami Heat video coming up at around, I'm going to say 9 p.m. Yeah, Dion's been acting crazy since the Heat paid him. Absolutely. What that dude has been doing is that he's been on the gummies. He can't focus. Like I said, J.R. Smith has already adjusted in his career to becoming a spot up shooter when he was with the Cavs, so he can do it with the Lakers. He's going to have to shake off some rust. I wonder how many minutes he's going to play. I also believe, who do you think is the best lineup that the Lakers could put out there in terms of their starting lineup now that Avery Bradley is out? Now that Avery Bradley is out, what's the best starting lineup, for the Lakers? So it's going to be interesting to see. So again, guys, like I said, the Miami Heat video is coming up. Hopefully, I could get a bunch of Heat fans to come in there because, like I said, I like their team. Uh, I'm wondering how their team is going to do in the playoffs. I want to see what their expectations can be, for them. I'm going to push the time a little bit back just so that I got time for enough to talk about for this upcoming Laker video. Richard says this season's going to be weak if the Joker doesn't play, period. He and the Nuggets are the only team that can knock these guys off. Are you talking about both the Lakers and the Clippers? I'm interested to see what Jamal Murray's going to do. He's going to have to play big. I am sorry, everyone, says G Money, but Russ Harden and H Town will ruin everyone's LA battle, and I think we will have an MVP battle between Russ and the Beard versus the King and the Brow. Well, G Money, you can't say that and then you're going to say we will see. If you're that confident, you have to stick to saying that you're going to see Russ and Harden against Bron and AD. If you're that confident, you have to stick to that. You can't say it's going to be Russ and the Beard against the Lake against Bron and AD. If you're that confident, you have to pick that. I think it's going to be Kawhi Leonard and Paul George against LeBron James and Anthony Davis in the Western Conference Finals. That's what I believe, and I'm sticking to that. If the Clippers get knocked off by the Rockets, so be it. I will give the Rockets a lot of credit. They were able to get it done. And man, oh man, Kawhi Leonard is going to get it. So is Paul George. So is Doc Rivers. Those three mostly, because people have talked about Doc Rivers being this great head coach, but he's honestly really only got one championship to show for it, though. And I feel like his 2015 Clippers with Chris Paul and Blake Griffin should have been in the Western Conference Finals back in 2015, and we would have gotten to see Chris Paul against Steph Curry. I'm not complaining that James Harden was in the Western Conference Finals. I'm just saying, and it was a good matchup, Harden against Curry because he finished second in MVP. But I'm saying Chris Paul would have had a chance to make his case that he was the best point guard in the league going up against Steph Curry. That's what I'm just saying. Richard says, I'm sorry. He says JR needs to start with that roster. Crazy to say. Let me ask you guys in the chat. Richard says he believes that JR needs to start. Do you think that JR should start or should he come off the bench? Let me know in the comment section. Ron says, a side question. Can playoff Rondo reappear one more time? Another problem that I have also is that Rondo, number one, his minutes are down. And then number two, you have to also understand that Rondo is ball dominant with the point guard in terms of the ball in his hands when he is, facilitating. When LeBron's in the game, Rondo's not going to be able to play point guard unless Frank Vogel decides to split the time with Rondo and LeBron, in terms of ball control. So that's another thing. I don't know. Rondo's another question because he's also getting older too. I don't see the Rockets getting in the Western Conference Finals. I don't see it neither. I don't. The Lakers and the Clippers have great duos, but that Nuggets team is a great overall team with great chemistry. They are, but their issue is you see LeBron and AD and you see Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. They got go-to guys. Other than Jokic, who's going to be that person? Because as much as they have a great overall team, who is really going to be their go-to player? Is Nikola Jokic going to be that guy? That's one. Does he want it bad enough to say that he's going to be their go-to player? Jamal Murray, he's inconsistent. Gary Harris has dropped off, and the thing is, he gets injured. So I look at those three players more than anything. Is Mike? I mean, Michael Porter Jr. They have to bring him in slowly. That's the thing. So they got quite a few question marks before I can say that I think that they can honestly. Um, the Nuggets do have a very good team, and they're deep. They're deep. They are deep. But I question them in close games. How are they going to be down the stretch? And they've had some embarrassing losses. But the good thing is, due to the pandemic, hopefully they're going to be able to get their workouts in once they reopen the facilities for training to get back in, so that they'll be able to work out, uh, do team practices and scrimmages before we get to the actual game scrimmage on July 30th. And G Money says, fine, I am going to be confident to see Russ and the Beard versus Braun and the Brown and the Braun and the Brow in the Western Conference Finals, battling to the death, and one duo will face the Greek Freak and the Bucks in the NBA Finals. Yep, that's not exactly, because it's like you can't just go off and say, oh yeah, I Russ and the Beard are gonna spoil their plans, but we will see. Nah, don't say that. Nah, because you're trying to play two sides, and it's gonna be like that's gonna make you kind of a little bit of a hypocrite, because then it was like, nah. The reason I'm saying that I don't think the Rockets are gonna get there is because of their past history and their two superstar players in Harden and Russell Westbrook. That's my issue. Mike D'Antoni as the coach, he does not have a plan B, and Daryl Morey is really believing in his mind, and that's fine if he wants to believe that the Rockets small ball will get them to the NBA Finals and that they'll win an NBA championship. So you can believe that all you want. It's just their history tells me otherwise. That's why I don't think the Rockets are going to get deep. If they do that, I will give them a congratulations, and they'll actually prove me wrong that their style can work. But the key thing is the Rockets have to force them to play that style, and the Rockets have to play some defense, something that they're really not that great at. You're asking Russ and Harden, two guys who have never made all defensive teams in their careers. So they're going to have to play the best defense that they've ever played and come back on the other end and be able to contribute. And yeah, Eric Gordon can go off, but again, you live by the three, you die by the three. You can't. Austin Rivers said the key. You have to mix up your offense. Is D'Antoni going to mix it up, or is he just going to rely on the iso ball three ball? If that's the case, and I'm telling you, watch James Harden with Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook, they've played well when they've adjusted to Russ's playing style. Does James Harden come back and say, "Oh, you know what? I think that we can win playoff basketball with my style"? I'm telling you, there's going to be a lot of finger pointing after this. Trust me. Yes, but Jokic is looking in shape and ready to ball. He looked like KP in the last photo I saw, and Michael Porter was starting to shine. That's true. They do have some question marks, and Michael Porter was beginning to show some signs that he can really be, really good NBA player in this league. Definitely, 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 we were starting to see some signs. I will say that. Karan says he wants the Rockets to feel embarrassed because he is a huge OKC fan. Listen, OKC may not have the three-point shooting, but I think their system is good enough to beat Houston. Uh, but we're gonna have to see though. Man, the Rockets are gonna get smashed by the Nuggets or the Lakers. Not gonna lie, no big man will cost them in the slower pace playoffs. And again, I tell you this again. James Harden, the whistles are not going to be as kind to him in the postseason like they were in the regular season. James Harden has been averaging 10 plus free throw attempts the last 4 seasons. The refs will not be as kind to him. And I'm asking you, what does James Harden go to when he's not getting that whistle? What does he go to when he doesn't get that whistle? I also have to question James Harden in the fourth quarter. Same thing with Russell Westbrook. Again, these are two great players. Two great players. I just questioned the IQ and I questioned Mr. Mike D'Antoni, Mr. Pringles man, with his coaching. That's one of those that you can honestly say is a wait and see. But I don't think the Rockets are going to go that far. I think they'll get out of the first round. Russ will finally get out the first round without Kevin Durant. But the problem is, I don't think they're going to go deep. G Money says that the Rockets will lose to the Lakers, but I think they have enough firepower to beat any other team in the West. Okay, name me that firepower. Name me that firepower. Name me that fire. Since you're saying that they got all this firepower, who are the players that have this firepower? I think that the lack of bigs are going to hurt them in the playoffs. The Nuggets need that one guy you can give the ball to and say cook, and I like an ISO Joe type. Yeah, that's the thing. They're gonna need that go-to guy. Like I said, Jokic has. I'm wondering if Jokic can be that guy. If he shows that he's that guy, and you could give him the ball and say go ahead and cook, I give the Nuggets a shot. I give the Nuggets a shot to go deep. I give them to go deep. I don't think they are, but I give them a shot to go deep. If Jokic can be that ISO Joe type, like Ron just said, I give the Nuggets a shot to go deep. And again, you know that the NBA playoffs are about matchups. But like I said, G Money, what is this firepower that you're talking about? Again, the Rockets, they can be good, but this is a feast or famine basketball team. The Rockets are feast or famine. Nah, I just don't see it. With all due respect, I just don't see it with the Houston Rockets. If they can get it done somehow, I'll give them credit. But I don't know if the Rockets will get it done. Just because of the fact that having no bigs, I feel like the Rockets are so focused on Golden State so much that they're really honestly believing that they think that they can use their style in a modified way to really beat other teams in the playoffs. I just don't see it happening. And at least to some degree, the Warriors did have some bigs and they utilized some of their bigs. I mean, Festus Ezeli, Andrew Bogut, um, JaVale McGee when he was there. Uh, the PJ Tucker thing is going to hurt for me because he's going up against big men, so he has to defend bigs in the paint. He's going to get into foul trouble, so that to me is going to hurt. Austin Rivers, he actually played well against the Warriors last year, but again, I'm going to go by his words. They have to mix up their offense. That's why I don't think they're going to mix up their offense unless if they can surprise me. Damari Carroll, his shooting comes and goes, and it's like I don't. Am I going to really trust him against a Paul George and against a Kawhi Leonard? I don't think so. Especially when a couple of years ago he couldn't even deal with LeBron James. And let's face it, they don't have anybody physical enough to deal with that. Ben McLemore, he's streaky. Ben McLemore streaky. Ben McLemore is streaky. Eric Gordon, he's another feast of famine player because 1 minute he could give you 35 points, and then another game he could give you four. So Eric Gordon, that's going to be. James Harden on the Nuggets would be an instant championship. I think if James Harden plays within the team system, absolutely. And the thing is, he could give them baskets. Yeah, if James Harden was on a team like the Denver Nuggets, yeah, the Nuggets could become championship contenders. I agree with you, Richard, because they need a James Harden type player. They get James Harden, yeah, and then you have Jokic on the inside, and then you have the perimeter game to kind of offset that, and they can both and Jokic can stretch the floor. I absolutely agree with you. If James Harden was on the Nuggets, I can see that. G Money says nobody had the 99 Knicks in the NBA Finals with all the turmoil we had. That's true, but you have to also understand that was a different NBA too. That was more defensive. We're in an era where we're implementing the three ball. Big difference. That's a big difference. And it's like, yeah, you never know. But the thing is, the Knicks were also playing great defensively too, something that the Rockets don't really play. Now you could say, yeah, well, a lot of teams don't really play defense in this era, but you got to play some level of defense if you're going to win an NBA championship. Okay, just about all NBA champions that play have played some form of defense, have played some form of defense to win the championship. Um, And he said, you just never know what can happen in the playoffs. The Celtics nearly made the NBA Finals with Kyrie and Hayward, but the thing is, yeah, they went to Game 7, but remember, they had home court. That's number one. And remember, the Celtics play well at home. They don't play well on the road. On the road, you would need Kyrie and Gordon Hayward. That's the thing. When the games are close, they didn't have a go-to player. So I understand that, but I knew the Celtics weren't going to go, but they did push them to 7 games. But remember also that they have the system. You have to understand what teams have. You have to understand what teams have. You put Kyrie Irving on that on that Celtics team, and let's say the Celtics pull off a road win. Guess what happens? They knock off the Cavs in 5 games. Yes, so Kyrie does make a difference. I'm not going to sit here and say no, but you have to understand the style that the team has. The Celtics run a system. G Money. They run a system. When you look at the Knicks in '99, if you look at the series against Atlanta, Steve Smith is not a good defender. Sprewell ran circles around him. The Knicks played good defensively the entire postseason up until they went up against San Antonio and had to deal with those bigs. See, that's where they missed Patrick Ewing, his size. That's where they missed him. I think they still lose to San Antonio, but I do believe that, and the Knicks made it very competitive in the 3 games in New York. Patrick Ewing would have helped because then him and Camby can match up with Duncan and Robinson. And I think Ewing would have been used for David Robinson because Camby would have had his issues with Tim Duncan, but I think he would have done a solid enough job to contest him because Camby is athletic enough, to guard Tim Duncan, even though Tim Duncan is a very polished offensive player. And Ewing did average 16 points in those playoffs. So you add Patrick's 16 points, you get the inside presence. That's huge for the Knicks, even at 36 years old. That was 36-year-old Patrick Ewing. See, Patrick Ewing is not missed when teams are more smaller. It's when teams are play bigger. Bigger teams is where Patrick Ewing is needed. But against smaller teams, Patrick slows them down. That's why y'all got to also understand style of play. That's big. If the Clips want to win, they need shot blockers, and I think the Rockets will have layup lines if they face off. Well, they just signed Joakim Noah. Now, I don't know how Joakim Noah is going to be when he comes back, but he did play well when he was with Memphis. He provided some good leadership, a veteran presence. He played some solid defense in Memphis when he was there last year. I got to wait and see what Joakim Noah does look like, but I think he's hungry. The Clippers are a hungry team. People that are not understanding that they're hungry. Now, how they perform, we gotta wait and see. But this is a very hungry basketball team. They're definitely hungry. That's for sure. Um, so again, shout out to everybody right now. Um, all right, let me just continue to look. I feel that G, but this is a layoff. It's gonna hurt the most, man. They need to come in hot. And the Rockets, again, it's gonna be rhythm. Yeah, well, it's really not much more the Rockets run. It's really more so Daryl Morey and Mike D'Antoni. They sip the analytic Kool-Aid, especially Daryl Morey. Daryl Morey to me, if they don't win this year, he needs to step down. Play with D Wade and Bosh in their prime. Will they three-peat? I apologize for this. I don't know if you responded to me earlier before the stream, but if you did, I missed it. And did you say the show would still be on Thursday? And would it be day or night? Okay. So Sport Expert, I said that it was going to be at nighttime, and yes, I did say it was on Thursday. It's cool if you missed it. Again, go subscribe to the Sports Expert. Yeah, they don't have the chemistry to win a championship. Well, yeah. So I just LeBron, Wade, and Bosh were in their prime when they went 2 for 3. So I would have to say no. Yeah, they were in their prime. They repeated, but they didn't three-peat. Remember, they lost their first year together and their last year together when LeBron went back to Cleveland. So I agree with Richard on that. I don't see an old Noah stopping Harden, Gordon. Yeah, but you're acting like he's the only one of the team. They got Harrell, they got Zubac. Like the Clippers are going to do it collectively as a defensive team. And remember, they had not played together when their team had fully been healthy. It's only been 12 games. Also, remember, there's no home court advantage for any of these teams. You got to keep that in mind as well. There's no home court advantage. I would think differently if there was a home court advantage. There's no home court advantage. I don't see it. That's the thing. There's no home court advantage. And G Money, this is why I also have to say you have to look at the coaching. The coaching is going to be key. Coaching is going to be key. The Clippers have more depth in terms of players they can throw at James Harden. You forget that part too. No, they're not great defense. Zubac is solid. He just will get into foul trouble. Harrell looks good when he's scoring. I felt like he should focus more on defense. He should really focus more on defense. I don't think he's that good of a defender in terms of the pick and roll. I just think they're going to do it collectively. I just think that they'll be able to play different lineups. The question is, can the Rockets adjust to the different lineups that the Clippers can play? See, that's the thing. I just don't think that their one style is really going to win. So that's my thing. If the Rockets were more versatile with their play style, I'd give them a shot. I would give them a shot. Yeah, so with that being said, by you saying that Doc and Mike D'Antoni are both not great playoff coaches, I would give the nod to Doc Rivers over Mike D'Antoni on this one. I would. Now against Frank Vogel, that's a little bit of a different story because that's the Lakers, not the Rockets. With all due respect to Houston Rockets fans everywhere. With all due respect. Again, smash the like, hit that subscribe. Because Mike D'Antoni's really real his real argument is really 2007 with the Phoenix Suns. That's really it in the second round. Other than that, though, Mike D'Antoni has not proven he could take teams deep. And even with, I will, well, with the Houston Rockets, he did. And they did went to a game 7. But again, he should have adjusted to when they shot all those threes. 27 threes, and they only lost by 9. Mike D'Antoni should have adjusted his coaching. He did not do that. That was big. And also the thing is, the Clippers are a little bit weak in the interior, but the thing is, they're a better perimeter defensive team. You're forgetting about that. The Rockets are a perimeter team. They're not an interior team. They're a perimeter team. And the Clippers are a good perimeter defensive team, especially their defensive numbers are better when they're actually all healthy. That's the key. Yeah. Have the Clippers embarrassed me this season with some of the games they played where they've gotten outplayed in the regular season? Yeah, for sure. I mean, allowing 130 points to 5 different teams, that's pathetic. But at the same time, they also have not had chemistry neither. So I'm keeping it 100 that, yeah, they have showed a lack of effort at times. I'm keeping it 100. But at the same time, the Clippers have not had their full lineup together. I can be more critical of them when they have their full lineup. So G Money says that, hold on, I just went to it. Here it is. He says the 2000, exactly. Doc has the experience in terms of at least being in the championship, even though he's not that great of a coach. He's been there and he's won. 2008 Celtics, they did win the chip, but they nearly lost to an 8th-seeded Atlanta Hawks. They did almost lost to the Cavs in 7, and and the Pistons in 6. Even the Lakers without Bynum and Ariza nearly took them to 7, but they blew a 24-point lead in Game 4. Shout out to Anthony L in the building. Appreciate you coming through. We're talking Lakers Clippers basketball. Appreciate Anthony L for coming through. Appreciate that. Again, guys, subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you like the video, and make sure you guys are sharing this on your social media. We got 21 likes and we got 11 people watching. Hopefully we can get more Lakers Clippers fans to watch this video. I'm looking at the Miami Heat video that's coming up. It's coming up at 9 o'clock. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Make sure to smash that like button. Appreciate you, Raduni, for coming through. Appreciate that. Again, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys are new to the channel. Um, so yeah, getting back to Doc Rivers, yeah, I mean, you could say that the 2008 Celtics, yeah, I mean, they screwed up. They were just not consistently good defensively in the playoffs. Part of it is Doc Rivers, part of it is on the players. They should have that against the Atlanta Hawks. At best, that should have been a 5-game series. LeBron and the Cavs are a pretty good defensive team. They're a pretty good defensive team, and they had LeBron James. The Celtics should have beaten the Cavs at best 5 or 6 games, but they went to Game 7 and they almost lost. People forget also that Ray Allen was struggling in the postseason. He really didn't get his game going until the Eastern Conference Finals. He really didn't get his game going until the Eastern Conference Finals, and then he started to play much better in the NBA Finals. But Ray Allen was struggling throughout the playoffs. What up, Al? G Money. Also, Doc Rivers Celtics were up 3-2 and got destroyed at home in Game 6. But that's 2012. They should have, yeah. I mean, that's true. They did blow a double-digit lead. Yeah, I mean, you got to put that on Boston. But also at the same time, yeah, Doc Rivers did all the coaching he did. Game 6 to me was the players' fault, and that was Doc Rivers' fault. Game 7 for me was more so the players. And Doc Rivers is going to get blame, obviously, too. So, yeah, Doc Rivers will get blame on that. Yeah, so Doc Rivers has not been the best coach. That's true. And, yeah, I know what you're also going to say, that he was on the Clippers that blew a 3-1 lead to the Houston Rockets. The same Houston Rockets that had lost, that had beat them in Game 6 with Josh Smith and the role players going out with James Harden in the fourth quarter. I know. Man, I wouldn't discount Doc's leadership. His X's and O's are mediocre, but he's a motivator. I really feel like this is where Kawhi Leonard and Paul George are going to have to step up as leaders and really galvanize the guys together. Because remember, Montrezl Harrell is another clutch, potential clutch sports guy. So we got to look at that too. You know, is he going to get distracted? I still think that Doc Rivers is my biggest concern about the Clippers' success. Yeah, he is a concern. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like it's not. Doc Rivers is a concern because I've heard praises of Doc that he is this unbelievable head coach, but he only has really one championship to show for it, especially when Doc could have won. He probably would have had 2 or 3 championships right now. So he is a concern. But I will say this. He is a motivator, as Richard said, so that will be big. Exactly. And Ron makes a good point. For a Clipper team to have the chemistry issues that they had and still look pretty good because they have very strong perimeter defense, exactly. They do have the players to make adjustments. And the key thing is because they have the depth. So because they're deep, they can go to different lineups and make different adjustments. Doc Rivers is a concern. He is a concern. I know, G Money. You're banking on the Clippers to lose to the Rockets. I get all that, but Mike D'Antoni has his own set of history too, which is why I still say that I'm banking more on Doc Rivers against Mike D'Antoni. So you could give me all the history you want with Doc Rivers, but against Mike D'Antoni, I'm choosing Doc Rivers over him. I'm choosing Doc Rivers over him. Look at the chances that dude has had the last 2 seasons against Golden State. One with Kevin Durant, and that was even with Kevin Durant getting injured the very next year. Yeah, and they also struggles too, though. See, but the thing is also the Celtics struggle too. Even with those guys struggling, they struggle too. That's true. Paul Pierce struggled. That was a defensive game. Kevin Garnett struggled. Ray Allen struggled. A lot of guys struggled. The coach is not out there shooting threes, man. Yeah, 2013 was Vinny Del Negro. He says, Richard says he's a player's coach. But when you have a guy like Kawhi, you can hope he carries your team to a championship. He has done that already. He has done that already in Toronto. Yes, despite the circumstances. Actually, G Money, I also have to make a video on the Raptors and the Warriors of 2019 because there's actually some things that I actually have to clear up, and there's some things that you're absolutely right on that I have to actually say that I'm actually going to go back and I'm actually going to redo that video. But there's some things that I have to actually touch up on those 2019 NBA Finals that I actually have to say um, that I have to kind of go back on. So that is big. Again, smash the like button, hit the subscribe. So let me ask you guys this question now, going into the Clippers. Do you guys believe that Reggie Jackson could be the biggest X factor on the Clippers? Let me know in the comment section. Do you think that Reggie Jackson could be the biggest X factor on the Clippers? Let me know in the comment section. Okay, so I'm gonna take a look at the Clippers schedule while I look at some of the comments. Wow. Anthony L says, I'm hearing that it's a possible hurricane that's supposed to hit the coast. Oh, that's right, because hurricane season usually happens in August. I forgot about that. Yo, I'm hearing that, yeah, and around August may not be good for the NBA. Dang, I wonder why Adam Silver didn't even think of that neither. Not just the pandemic, but also natural disasters happen in the month of August. Did he think about that too? Imagine if a hurricane happens, man. I've seen it. That would have to further delay stuff. Um, Richard says, I don't want to discredit Siakam though, and their defense. They were great, but his skill set and leadership changed that team and made them competitors. I also said that I believe that he made them a more believable championship team than DeMar DeRozan did, with all due respect to DeMar. He made them a more believable championship team, and he says that Reggie could be a factor. He could be. The Warriors could have won. He definitely could come back. Clippers have Kawhi and PG-13. Both of these players can do all on the court, so they fix their defense and offense. Just PG takes charge of all the games, and Kawhi does his thing to close out the game. Reggie Jackson has to be the biggest S factor if he can show me what he did in OKC. I would say he can be great. Yep. I think if Reggie Jackson, you know, plays really well for the Clippers, he can be huge. Because the fact is, you have Lou Will if he decides to play, and then you got Reggie Jackson, two guys who can play well off the pick and roll. And like I said, Lou Will would actually thrive if Avery Bradley is not in the lineup because now you're asking KCP to guard Lou Will. And KCP is known for his defense, but I think he can be consistent at times defensively. So coming back, I'm gonna take a look at the Clippers schedule. I'm gonna actually push this live stream of Miami a little bit more back, probably to 9:30, just to give a little bit more time. Again, smash the like button, hit the subscribe. We already got 22 likes, so I appreciate that, everybody. Make sure you guys are sharing the video, sharing this live stream. Let's get enough likes to continue to spread. Okay. Let me see. Should have won game 6. They missed 9 free throws and turned the ball over a lot. Okay, let's go back to Marcus Morris. I think that Marcus Morris will be a bigger X factor than Reggie. He can create his own shot without Lou. Anthony L says all the players that's deciding to sit this one is making a smart move. Oh yeah, definitely agree with that. Okay, let's get to the Clipper schedule. Here's who they have. So they got the Lakers, they got the Pelicans, they got the Suns, the Mavericks, the Trailblazers, the Brooklyn Nets, the Nuggets, and the OKC Thunder. They finished with OKC. So OKC, Denver, that's going to be difficult. Portland, not so much. Dallas, they've already beaten Dallas. I'm not saying that Dallas isn't a good team, but they're not that good of a defensive team. And once you lock Luka Doncic and take away the Luka Doncic system, the Mavericks are not as effective. So now KP has to play even bigger than that. The Phoenix Suns, no, that's the Clippers should win that one. The Pelicans will be a competitive game, but they should win that one. So the Lakers, Pelicans, Mavericks, Nuggets, and Thunder are going to be the more difficult. Are going to be the 5 teams that they'll actually have a difficult time playing. But I think that the Clippers, I think 5 of their 8 games are actually not as tough. Also, I want to mention that Doc Rivers and the Clips blew a 2-0 lead against an inexperienced Blazer team in 2016. I know, but like I said before, I trust Doc Rivers more than I trust Mike D'Antoni. X Factor is going to be Marcus Morris and the Zubac chemistry. Clips will finish the regular season strong. Mavs are a good offensive team, but that might not be enough. No, they have to be able to play defense. And I think that the Luka Doncic system, to me, is not going to be good against teams in the playoffs, especially because this is his first time in the playoffs. Luka and KP aren't ready just yet. Another year or two. Yeah, that's my thing. They're not ready yet. Denver should make a trade to get Devin Booker. Ooh. Denver Booker on the Denver Nuggets. I was hearing that they should make Devin Booker go on another team too. I know Stephen A was capping like crazy that he wants Devin Booker out of there. Ron says Reggie to me, judging by what he's seen, he has the tools, but he needs to parlay that into winning style of basketball. If he can do that, then he could be huge. That's my question with Reggie Jackson. I think that now that he's on a deep team, and the thing is he is around better coaching because he was just in a bad situation in Detroit. They obviously don't really know where they're going. They just traded away Andre Drummond. He picked up that 28.7. Well, he's going to pick up that $28 million option now that he's with the Cavs, knowing that he's not going to get paid like that anywhere else. Um, so yeah, I think if Reggie Jackson really buys into the into the team culture and trying to win, if he's about winning, doing what it takes to win, Reggie Jackson would be huge for the Los Angeles Clippers. Here's my question for you guys. Who's going to be the biggest X factor for the Los Angeles Lakers besides Anthony Davis? Besides AD, who do you think is going to be the biggest X factor for the Los Angeles Lakers? Yeah, I think Phoenix just needs to get better. Um, they lack experience. They lack veterans. They really do need veterans on that team because the team is really young. Kelly Oubre is out. He had surgery on his knee, so he's not coming back. Obviously, the Suns are not even participating, so we know that. Hmm. Devin Booker with the Milwaukee Bucks. That would mean him, Giannis, Chris Middleton, Eric Bledsoe. Well, depending on who's still there, and George Hill. Let's see. G Money also says that the Rockets missed 9 free throws and they lost by 9 in Game 7 against the Golden State Warriors. And again, ladies and gentlemen, continue to smash the like button, continue to hit the subscribe button for the Lewis Sports Network. You guys are killing it in the chat. And again, next live stream later tonight. This is going to be probably around 9:30. It will be on the Miami Heat and talking about their chances. For the Lakers, it's how the coach is going to use Kyle Kuzma. Yeah, I'll say this about Luke Walton. I think he did a much better job, even though Luke Walton is not that good of a coach to me. He did a much better job of utilizing Kyle Kuzma than Frank Vogel has. G Money, we know that already. We know that already. You don't have to say something that we already know. I already know the Suns are not going to make the playoffs. I said that they're not obviously participating because they had a bad year. And all I just said was that Kelly Oubre was out already. I just said that he was injured and that he's out. That's it. The question that I asked for Phoenix is if they end up getting rid of Devin Booker, who would they trade him to? What's a team that they could use him? Raduni was saying, imagine Devin Booker or Philly getting him, or the Bucks. Uh, yeah. So G Money, like we know that already. That's obvious. Hmm. Richard says Dwight Howard if he plays well, and then JaVale McGee if he doesn't. So he's got the bigs. Raduni has got Kyle Kuzma. Ron says if the Lakers get a more consistent version of Kyle Kuzma on both ends, well, Kyle's going to have to play defense because he really doesn't play defense. How ironic, he pushed LeBron to play defense, but he's really not that good of a defender. Can he be the Lakers' third scorer? Because the Lakers do need a third scorer. Like, who other than LeBron and AD can really give them that extra punch in scoring? So they're going to need that. Those big guys have made them a great defensive team. Yes. People don't want to give the credit to Anthony Davis, JaVale McGee, and Dwight Howard. Those three bigs have made the Lakers the team they are. AD has made LeBron play defense, and LeBron has got to look good in front of AD because if LeBron doesn't show that he's playing defense, then AD's going to look at LeBron like, oh, wow, he's actually really declining. Like, he cannot play at the level that I thought he could play and that he's the MVP. Devin Booker could go to the Bucks, to the Miami Heat, or the Orlando Magic. Actually, he would be good for the Magic because they really do lack a consistent 20-point scorer. And Devin Booker is taking more twos this year, and it's helped his field goal percentage. He's shooting a career high 49% from the field, and that's because Devin he's doing much more drives, and he's utilizing mid-range game, and he shoots a consistent mid-range. He shoots 52% from the field in the mid-range. Let that sink in. He says, I think Kuzma will break out. So G Money, basically what you're saying is he your X factor? Don't just say that he'll break out. Is he your X factor? That's my thing. That's my thing. Because if you heard Richard, he says that the X factors are the bigs. Ron says it's Kyle Kuzma. I said, can Kuzma give him that scoring? That's what I'm saying. If he can do that, he will be their X factor. Richard says D Books best fits the Philadelphia 76ers, but he will most likely go to the Timberwolves. Wow. Oh, that's right. Because remember, him, Carl Anthony Towns, and D'Angelo Russell, those are three players who don't play defense, even though Carl Anthony Towns actually played better, was starting to play better defense later on. Carl Anthony Towns, for me, I'm not talking about his mom. And like I said, prayers to Carl Anthony Towns and his family for what happened to his mom. I feel devastated for what happened to him. I'm just relating to basketball. When it comes to basketball, uh, just basketball purposes, he's inconsistent defensively and offensively. There's moments where he shows the talent that he could be a dominant big, and then there's moments where he shows that he can be very inconsistent. He can be a feast. There you go, G Money. That's what I want to hear. That Kuz is your X factor. That's it. Be confident in those picks. That's it. If you think you know your basketball, be confident in your picks. Whether I agree or disagree with it, just be confident. That's it. If there were no Howard, AD, and McGee, the Lakers would look like the roster when LeBron just joined the team, which is a small team. Uh, then you have to think about the fact that he would have Brandon Ingram, He would have Lonzo Ball. They'd be in the starting lineup. Kuz is my X factor. All the Laker bigs are going to do their job, but they need a third scorer on Kyle Kuzma. But I have more confidence on Danny Green if he makes 6 threes per game. That's asking a lot for Danny Green. 6 threes. Danny Green is capable of putting one good game, but then he'll disappear for the rest. I think the thing is for the Lakers, they're going to have to get a different contribution from somebody every single night if Bron and AD are going to be consistent. Kuz is okay. The only question I have with Devin Booker is, does he really play a winning style? That's why I like to see him with another team or a better mesh of players. Well, Devin Booker showed you that he can improve his game to be a much more all-around player when it comes to his offense and not just a three-point shooter. Now the key thing is what Ron said. Can he play winning style basketball? Can he really play winning style basketball? That's my next step. Can he become a better defender? Obviously he's able to play off the ball and stuff like that. Like, I would love to see him in an offense. Like, is he going to do what it takes to play winning style basketball? That's going to be Devin Booker's next step, but he definitely has a talent. Shout out to Valix in the building, man. Appreciate you, man, in the building. Shout out to Valix. Appreciate the support. Thank you for being here. True supporter right there. Appreciate that, Valix. He also says J.R. Hennessy. Yeah, I called him J.R. Hennessy Smith, man, as I said before. In the words of Kevin KG, he says, anything is possible. I'm going to say it in KG's voice. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. There you go. It's not anything. It's anything. So, yeah, like, they have some question marks. Like, I question, can Dion Waiters be, productive? Because he's looking chunky. From reports I'm hearing, he's looking chunky. So don't forget that Dion Waiters is on the team. KCP has shown that he's played a little bit more consistent, but remember, how did he get his money to be on the Lakers with the money he got? He on Clutch Sports. Like, some percentage of shooters besides Klay Thompson do struggle when playing both sides of the court, like Danny Green. Especially when it's primarily shooting, because Danny Green is really more of a specialist. Man, Book's game is made for winning ball. His team and coaches are just terrible. Let's put the organization on top of that, too. Yeah, I would like to see Devin Booker on a winning team. Like a Danny Green. Right. Facts. That's facts. Smash the like button. Hit that subscribe button for the Lewis Sports Network. Shout out to Winetta Thomas. Appreciate you coming through. She says Dion Waiters still hasn't lost that weight. That's not what one of the people were telling me. I forgot who it was. I don't know if it was Ron or if it was Ryan, but they were saying that they said that he was still looking a little chunky. And this was the recent video. I said, I said, yo, I mean, lucky for him that he still has a whole month, because it's June 30th. He has a whole month left. If he doesn't lose that weight, that's going to be a problem. No, Monty Williams he's not a bad coach at all. What happened to the Suns? They've had poor management. The management over the years, they just have a terrible front office. They're kind of like the New York Knicks of the West Coast. They just have poor management. That's not a good franchise. They got some talent. I mean, they have DeAndre Ayton. They have obviously Devin Booker. They have Kelly Oubre, who they got in the trade from Washington. But their front office sucks. Monty Williams, they did improve a little bit under Monty Williams. They just lack veterans. They need to get a veteran core to really help out Devin Booker, to really help him understand winning basketball. I think Devin's game is starting to show winning basketball. The key thing, he just lacks poise, and at times he does make some questionable decisions in close games, because Phoenix Phoenix really could have won some games had they not blown some leads and also made better decisions. That's where they lack veteran help. That's where they really miss some veteran help because they need a veteran player to really get on Devin Booker to really help him, like in terms of his mentality. He's uh because remember this dude was complaining at Joe Kim Noah about facing a double team in a freaking pickup game, and I was like, Joe Kim Noah said that's the NBA, bro. You got to get used to that. Like that's the way we play, and it's like it's true. Those players who are playing defense are trying to become consistently better defenders. Devin Booker, people will respect you more if you play if you're commanding double teams because now they respect you because you're a multi-dimensional threat. You're starting to show more triple threat, in your offense. I want to see him like kind of add a jab step, a little pump fake, add a little bit more wrinkles to his game too. That's how you get better, Devin. But you complaining about facing double teams in a pickup game, guess what? They're not gonna respect you like that. I agree. Danny Green is good on the team, but depending on him to shoot so well and defend is versus a top tier player like PG-13. Yeah, their front office is the issue. The Suns went from a great organization to just trash. They used to hit every pick, even though they traded them. I mean, look, they could have had Nate Robinson. They could have had Rajon Rondo. They've traded a lot of good picks over the years. Yeah, he was fired a couple of years ago. Monty Williams would be a great coach for the Brooklyn Nets. Hmm. Yeah, Monty Williams is a very good coach. One last thing, Doc Rivers and the Celtics blew a 3-2 lead against an unproven Magic team and lost Game 7 at home. It did hurt. I mean, there's no excuses for that. Once again, G Money, you can make all this cap about Doc Rivers, and I'm not saying those things are true, but against Mike no D'Antoni, I'm taking Doc Rivers again. Hey Lewis, only test they have for Dion Waitress is lifting his shirt and trying to do the truffle shuffle. If you've seen the Goonies, oh wow, I know about the Goonies. I know what you're saying. Ryan taking shots at Dion Gummy Weed Waiters. The Suns have players who want to win. They're done. They are done with rebuilding. I like D Book, but he complains too much. If the Suns want to make a playoff to be a playoff team, they need to acquire Drew Holiday, Jay Crowder, and of course trade Devin Booker to Ben Simmons for Ben Simmons and both and win. Oh wait, and trade Devin Booker to Philly to pair up with Ben Simmons, and both franchise win with that move. What do you guys think about that? Drew Holiday. Well, Drew Holiday plays in New Orleans, and Jay Crowder plays in Miami. But the thing is, that would have to be a 14 trade. That would have to be a 14 trade. That's true. Yeah, because my issue with Devin Booker is he shows me that he's not a competitor if he's complaining about a double team. Because I remember he was crying like, "Yo, we just playing pickup basketball. It's not that serious." I said, "Well, so think of how it's going to be in the NBA when they double team you for real in an actual NBA game, and you out there crying. Like that to me doesn't really show a winning attitude right there, and that to me is where he has to develop mentally. Like you have to believe that you're that good that they'll come and double team you. That means that they respect you a lot. Look at Steph Curry. The man plays point. He gets doubled and triple teamed every time he touches that ball. Why? Because they don't want that dude going off of threes. They don't want him coming off of pin downs. They don't want him coming off of off ball screens. They don't want that. Ball in his hands. They don't want the ball in his hands because they know what he can do with the ball in his hands. That's why he gets double and triple team. That's the respect that the league has for Steph Curry. Even if they want to say what they want, that he's too short or he can't play defense and all that, why do they double and triple team him? Because if he goes off, he is a human torch. He becomes very difficult to guard and stop. And when Steph Curry's feeling it, you lose. Monty is good, but the Suns only got 3/4 of a season with him, and the Aiton will be the barometer of success for Monty Williams. That's a good point. Sorry, but the Nets have a coach. He is David Blatt. Do you David Blatt? Hmm. David Blatt to be reunited with Kyrie Irving. with the Brooklyn Nets. I would like David Blatt to come there just to get a chance to really implement his coaching style, now having to deal with LeBron James, to really see what he can do. Because the fact that they were able to make trades and David Blatt was able to get to the finals, knowing that he was coming into that team with no pressure. That all changed when LeBron James came back to Cleveland. That all changed. The rosters had to change. They got off to a rough start. They had to make the trade to get Mozgov, Shumpert, and J.R. Smith, and that's when they really took off. No, was it? No, it wasn't 33 and 31. No, 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 no. They were 19 and 20 before they made that trade. They ended up winning 35, 35 of their last 44 games after that trade. No, 35 of their last 43 games after that trade. Oh, no, wait, wait. I'm sorry. They won 34 of their last 43 games. They went 34 and 9 after that trade. Double teams are going to happen in the playoffs. Yeah. Booker gets doubled every game, every second in the NBA. Well, that's why I'm saying that he has to understand that in a pickup game, he shouldn't be complaining, because you deal with it in the NBA. Why are you complaining just because you're not going hard? That's my thing. Mike D'Antoni's Rockets should have beaten the Warriors last year with no Boogie and KD, and they could have beaten Golden State. But I give him a slight pass for losing with no, he does not deserve a pass. No way. No way. I'm sorry. No way. No way. The Rockets get the blame for letting Luke Bahamute go and CP3. No way. Sorry. Nope. They don't get the pass. You had your chances, and the games were close. It wasn't like if they got blown out. No, no way. No, no, no way. I'm sorry. They get no pass. Not from me. No way. You should cover the Suns too. Yeah, I should. That's not a bad idea. I should cover the Phoenix Suns. What's the future going to be like for that team? That's a good idea, Karam. I want to cover the Timberwolves first, but I'll get to the Phoenix Suns. Lewis, I don't get it. I don't get it of value trades. What's the difference between a three-team trade, trade two players, and future draft picks? No, the reason that is different is because you have to be able to match in terms of like salaries. If you can't match with one team, you have to try to get another team involved, especially if they have players that other teams may acquire, or if they have to acquire them just because it has to make the trade work. That's why other teams get involved sometimes if they can't, if like a player's giving up, if a team is giving up too much to get somebody. So I don't see why Booker's complaining. Well, that's my point. In the case of Curry, I don't think I've ever seen a perimeter player get triple team without the basketball. Curry gets triple team and double team with the ball and without the ball. I would say in NBA history, I've never seen a player get guarded on and off the ball like Steph Curry has. And we have so many great players in NBA history, but I've never seen a point guard who shoots with the ability that Steph Curry does get doubled and triple team as much as he does. It's crazy. It is crazy. The Cavs started off 19 and 20 and yeah, 34 and 9. And they were 30 and 11 when he was fired. It was actually 30 and 11. But I know what you mean. Booker put a target on his back by complaining. Yeah, exactly. Rockets going home, bro. Oh no, like I said, second round exit at best. In 2006, the Suns might have beaten the Mavs and made the NBA Finals if Stoudemire was healthy. What hurt the Suns that year in 2006, you could talk about Amari, which is true, but they played too many games in those playoffs. It's amazing to me that they pushed the Mavs to 6 games, because that Phoenix Suns team was dead tired. You could tell they were dead tired. They went through 2 7-game series, one with the Lakers, which they had no business being down 3-1 to, and a 7-game series with the Clippers in 2006. That's what ultimately hurt them against the Mavs. And the funny thing is, I believe they beat the Mavs in game one in the Western Conference Finals. Has a previous coach of LeBron's teams that are fire have a successful career after moving forward from LeBron? The answer, well, Eric Spoelstra's still doing pretty good. The only issue is he really can't get draft picks because he really tries to go all that hard though. Obviously, let me see. Mike Brown, he's had a couple of okay seasons, but they haven't been really been great in terms of championship. And he was on the Warriors, but he was an assistant coach. Um, so then there's that. Um, so yeah. I mean, you really can't even say that much, but Everett Spoelstra to me is probably the one coach that's probably had the most success. Tyronn Lue right now is an assistant coach for the Clippers, so he's right back under Doc Rivers when he was with him in Boston, and he has it's funny. Booker put a target on his back when he scored 70. Yeah, I heard David Blatt has some health issues, multiple sclerosis. Yeah, that's pretty. I wouldn't give the Rockets a pass last year to losing to the Warriors because of it. It was totally embarrassing. Steph had no points at the half and ended up with 33 for the game. Think about that. Think about that. He had no points at the half, and I said, if Curry doesn't go off, I said the Rockets got this. They force a game seven, and I feel like their chances are greater to beating the Golden State Warriors without KD. But CP3 and Harden, they choke. Now they're gonna say, "Oh yeah, but they showed up." I'm talking about in the fourth quarter. People always look at the end numbers. They choked in the fourth quarter. That was the thing. Fourth quarter. James Harden started to hit shots pretty much when it was too late. They needed you in that key 5 minute stretch, and you did not show up. And the thing is, Harden turned the ball over 5 times in the fourth quarter. CP3, I believe, also turned the ball over a couple of times. That was the ultimate doom for KD and Westbrook in the last 3 games against Golden State when they lost the series. Not just the my turn your turn offense, but they were turning the ball over like crazy with some good Golden State defense. That's my thing. Plus, can't win without KD. Come on now, there was no excuse to win Game 6, and you had your backs against the wall. The Cavs coasted because they knew that they had the better team in the Eastern Conference that entire time during LeBron's stint in from 2015 to 2018. You would say probably the Boston Celtics probably had the best team. The problem is Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward were out. So when you look at LeBron's teams, they could have won more games. But the reason why they have these like 51 and 53 and 50 game seasons is part of it is because if they decided to play better defense and if they decided to play more as a team, guess what? They definitely could have had more pretty good seasons. I'm not giving them a pass for 2018. Bro, they missed 27 threes and lost by 9. They had double digit leads in both games 6 and 7. Just like how you tell me how the Celtics blew double digit leads, I'm sorry. The Rockets had double digit leads in games 6 and 7. They don't get a pass from me at all for that in 2018. It's weird. You would kind of give them a they were much more competitive in 2018 than in 2019, me personally, because in 2019 they kept just trying to get calls from the refs. But I'm sorry, 2018 doesn't get a pass neither because without CP3, and I'm not saying that not having him in the lineup doesn't help, but with James Harden, they still had multiple double digit leads and they blew them. And the thing is, they settled for the 3 point shot. That tells me that Monty did not have a plan B. So no, I do not give him a pass for that. If Mike D'Antoni adjusts his style and the Rockets mess up a little bit, and then you can really see where Bam Mute and Chris Paul miss, then okay, I would give you that. But no, you don't blow 2 double-digit leads in back-to-back games and then get a slight pass because it was 2018. No, G Money, no, I don't agree with that. I'm sorry, no way. And 2019 was worse because Kevin Durant injured his Achilles, and that was a more depleted Warriors team. So no, they don't get a pass for 2018 and 2019. No way. You blew the leads. Just like how you get on Doc Rivers for the coaching and the leads that they blown because the Doc Rivers he's implementing his coaching, but the players are out there playing. Mike D'Antoni made no adjustments, none. It's not just the players' lack of execution and just deciding to die by the 3-point shot. Mike D'Antoni did not have a plan B. The Rockets kind of remind me of the Atlanta Falcons. The 2018 Rockets, you could kind of put the 2015 Falcons. It's just what sucks about them is they were up 28-3 against New England. I'm talking about Gronkowski. I'm talking about Tom Brady. The team that got Malcolm Butler as their corner. But it's funny how people counted shooters for having a horrible shooting slump, but when they hit one shot, they get mad when the players go off. They scream, "Why you leave me open?" No, Raduni. He's talking about the Falcons, the football team. He's not talking about the basketball team. The Blazers are like the Wizards of the West. Both teams stink and choke in the playoffs. The Blazers is, that's actually a good point, G Money, that you just made about the Blazers and the Wizards. They actually are mirror images of one another in terms of the opportunities that they have had. But the Blazers' real opportunity actually came last year when they actually went to the Western Conference Finals. It was last season, and they blew. Listen, they could have won 3 games in that series and went up 3-1. But guess what? They got swept because they got blown out, and they blew 3 double-digit leads. And am I giving the Blazers a pass for that? But what did your boy D Lillard said? Oh, we didn't have Nurkic. When he said out of his own mouth they could beat the Warriors. You can feel confident, but if you don't get it done, how are you gonna blame it on the injury? That's like LeBron putting a cast on his hand, said, I played the finals with pretty much a broken hand. That's Dame Lillard was trying to cast his sweep. No, no. Yeah. LeBron doesn't really want to play for a really good coach because in his mind he knows more about basketball than the coach, and he wants to run his own system. I told you, he doesn't want the credit to be tied to the coaches. That's why. If you look at Jordan, they'll say he didn't win without Phil Jackson, which is true. Kobe didn't win without Phil. Now imagine if LeBron, who's so narcissistic, people say, "Oh, LeBron didn't win without Phil Jackson." That would make LeBron so much upset. And for people who saying that they need Phil Jackson, LeBron don't like Phil, so it ain't gonna work. Phil is just as narcissistic or has a big, if not a bigger ego than LeBron James. You can make that case. They all got egos, but man, it's how you handle your egos that's gonna make you win. You have to know when to use your ego and when not to use it. Sometimes LeBron's issue is he doesn't know when to turn off that ego for the good of the team at times. You meant 2017 Falcons blew a 20. Nope. That was the 2016 Super Bowl off the 2015 season. I know what I'm talking about. No. The Hawks were overrated. Yeah. No Blazer got West Conference Finals. Is all they could do. Let me see. No. What is the game the Grizzlies played versus the Warriors in 2017 to 2018? Falcons, because Warriors were up 27 points by the end of the third in the fourth quarter, and the Grizzlies ended up winning that game. I think you're talking about in the regular season. Oh no, but I'm talking about the lead they had in 51. Juanetta says anything on Didwitty and he is holding up. Well, right now it says that he has it. Right now he has it. Um, the Brooklyn Nets are in a really tough spot. They're in a really tough spot because they're gonna lose possibly. They just lost DeAndre Jordan. They might lose Spencer Dinwiddie. There's another player who has it, I believe, as well. Um, KD and Kyrie are already not playing, so that really hurts them. That really does hurt them. I disagree. The Blazers choked 3 leads versus a KD less. Oh no, he's talking about that. Beal to the Nuggets would be interesting. Bradley Beal with Jokic, Jamal Murray, and Gary Harris. I wonder who they would have to give up though. And Bradley Beal's making that money too on that contract. Yeah, that was embarrassing. It took them 6 games to beat that Nets team. Only 38 wins. And notice that the 60-win Hawks beat a 38-win Brooklyn Nets team. Shout out to Laron. I'm hoping I'm saying your name right. Shulyatsky. Are you streaming the game? I will be streaming the game. But this is just preview talk, Laron. This is just a preview between the Clippers and the Lakers. They're going to be playing on July 30th. But to answer your question, I will be streaming the game. If you subscribe to the channel now and get the notification, I will be on with somebody else to be streaming the game. So I will be doing live stream on that game on July 30th. So make sure you pull up on the 30th. This is just a preview in terms of Lakers Clippers talk because they don't play until the 30th. So we still have a whole month left. But if you subscribe to the channel right now, Lewis Sports Network, you will get the notification and I will be going live streaming Lakers and Clippers on July 30th. So I will be going live. Just comparing the two teams who were up big. Yeah, it was a regular season game. Yeah. They say he has some serious complications. I heard he has issues breathing, from what I hear. I heard that he has issues breathing. That would be tough. Again, guys, like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you guys haven't, again, Lewis Sports Network giving you Lakers Clippers talk. And appreciate you, LeBron, for subscribing to the channel. I truly appreciate it, man. And trust me, you won't be disappointed. I'm gonna be streaming that. By the way, are you a Lakers fan or a Clippers fan? Let me know. Let me know if you're a Lakers fan or Clippers fan. And make sure to let others know about the channel. Do you have any other are there any other people who are fans of the Lakers or the Clippers? Let me know what kind of fan you are and just let others know about the channel because I am going to be streaming live Lakers Clippers at this game. I think the game is going to be at 9 o'clock. So it will be at 9 o'clock. So that's great. So we'll be on. Uh, so make sure to come. I remember my Thunder were making those big comebacks against the Bulls and the Grizzlies. I feel you. Listen, like I said again, I like OKC. I really like OKC. They got a nice young team. It's pretty good. Um, going back, my Thunder are a team who don't quit. Yeah, they play very hard. That's what I like about the Thunder. Yeah, Karan. Thunder overcame a 26 against the Bulls and a 20-point against the Grizz in back-to-back home games. So it just lets you know that the Thunder, they're comeback kids. They're pretty good. G Money. That's right. Clippers Nation, baby. Right. How many refs are going to be refereeing? Good question. Black Tiger says, if Dolan ever got a chance to get Coach K, will that change anything? No. No. I mean, I would have to see how Coach K does in the pro level. It was the same with Billy Donovan when he first came to the Thunder. He had success in Florida. He won back-to-back national titles, with the Gators. I remember he had Joakim Noah, Corey Brewer, and Al Horford on this team. Those are some great Florida teams. They don't get talked about enough. But yeah, I definitely believe that I would have to see how Mike Krzyzewski does coach. But I will say this. I mean, he has coached USA basketball, 3 gold medals. I mean, so he got a little bit of experience in there, but that's more of the international level because they're playing international competition in Olympic play. And obviously in FIBA. Shout out to Ron. He says, Lou, I've seen some games that you stream with. I can't remember. His name is D Jefferson. Speak Your Mind Sports Talk. So it's me and D. We're coming back live on July 30th for the Lakers and the Clippers. And again, LaRon, if you're listening to the stream, let anybody else know. Whoever, if they're Lakers or Clipper fans, let them know about the channel. I will be streaming games live. I'll be doing other games. So just to be clear, um, Billy Donovan is similar to Brad Stevens. Yeah, a little bit. In terms of his offensive sets, he does remind me of Brad Stevens. I honestly think we should have the Blazers versus the Bucks in the NBA Finals, but both teams choked in big moments. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, the only thing is, again, I wonder how the ratings would be for the NBA. I think the key for the Blazers and the Bucks would have to be they would have to be so competitive. The games would have to be so close. For I would really think that. Will there be any suspensions if players over the technical foul limits? Do you think is valuable? I wonder what. I'm pretty sure it's going to be the same. We're going to have to keep an eye on that. So I'm going to have to look at who leads the league in technical fouls. I'm going to have to look at the teams. I'm going to have to really do my studying on that. Um, yeah, yeah, funny. How ironic is this? Summer hoops basketball with Lewis and Orlando, where they usually hold summer league. If not, they're Vegas. Crazy, right? Who would have thought that we're doing summer basketball in a summer league arena? Darn, man. The funny thing is, I actually like watching the summer league games. You know what? I should really stream summer league games. You know why? Because it would be good to see some young talent, just to see like who would actually like make the roster if they were to do, things like that. So I would have to wait and see, but interesting. I mean, I like that idea, man. So again, so continue to hit the like and continue to hit the subscribe. Let's see. Let me go back and check. So Winetta says that Duke is under investigation right now, and they are giving Coach K more jobs. Yeah, they really need to try to take care of that situation first. Give me two teams that if they acquire Kevin Love, they will be one of the biggest problems in the playoffs. I'm thinking about the Blazers and the Houston Rockets. Well, the Blazers have been trying to get Kevin Love, but they keep doubling down on trades with the Cavaliers. The Houston Rockets could use size with Kevin Love, even though they'll make him a stretch, but they can use him in post ups. I mean, that would kind of help a little bit because Houston could get some inside scoring. But that's only if they would use him posting up because you know Mike D'Antoni, he is about the three ball with his bigs. His bigs have to be able to shoot threes. They have to be able to space the floor. So the difference is he uses more isolation with James Harden and Russell Westbrook. That's the difference because his Phoenix Suns offense was spread the floor, run and gun, Steve Nash being the facilitator, pick and roll, but you have to be able to shoot threes and space the floor. That's the key. Black Tiger says, if JR messes up again, do you think LeBron punches JR this time? Well, this time when LeBron punches him, it won't be a whiteboard. It's going to be JR's face, and he's going to tell him to stop. You need to stop drinking in big games. If that's the case, as my man Tip Harris said, that could be the case, and it could be the case, and it could be the case if he messes up again. So that's going to be huge. G Money says, besides, like I said, it's not gonna be a whiteboard. And what is he going to say? I don't want to hear that he played the series pretty much with a broken hand because he got it was really emotional and it was self-conflicted because he decided to punch a teammate. So then if that's the case, you can't even get on Michael Jordan anymore. Yes, JR screwed up Black Tiger, but Braun should have drove to the rim past Curry or Hill could have made that free throw. Love needs to get out of Cleveland and go to a contender. I think Brad Stevens is very good, but he needs to get over the hump to prove whether or not he's a championship level coach. I mean, that's the next step for Brad Stevens because in the end, he's another coach that kind of gets all this credit, but then we have to all look and see to see if he can be if he can be a person that can become that championship coach. So we're gonna have to see. So it's gonna be very interesting to see. Again, guys, you can donate to my PayPal if you guys would like to. Again, it's not an obligation. If you guys don't want to, but like I always say, if you guys would like to, you guys can definitely do that. Again, smash the like, hit that subscribe. I'm coming back with some Miami Heat talk in about 25 minutes, guys. And let me see. Looking at the comments section, Raduni says they aren't. They aren't. They aren't. He says what? They aren't choked. Is that what you're trying to say? Oh, he says that they didn't choke because he's responding to G Money. He says they didn't choke because they lost to both teams. They lost to better teams and to better players, even with the Bucks and Blazers. I see. Black Tiger says Kevin Love should go to the Boston Celtics or the Portland Trail Blazers. I think he would help the Blazers out a lot. Boston Celtics in a Brad Stevens system, yes, I could see that working for Kevin Love. Ryan says, would you rather have players stay in the league that you've watched and idolized throughout your life, or looking forward to see younger talent in the NBA where your favorite players are retired? To be honest with you, listen, people get nostalgic, and this happens even in wrestling. When we see the people we idolize, we get all excited and stuff like that. But you have to also realize the young talent that you have. It's about those guys now. So you have to utilize what you have now, and then also you have to build up the stars of the future. They obviously have to get better, but it's up to the NBA to market those players. If you don't market them right, as good as they are they really going to get noticed? No. And that's because the NBA's issue is they focus right now, they're investing too much on one guy. I don't have an issue when investing in that one guy, but try to invest in other players because that guy isn't going to last forever. Then are you going to be telling me that you're still going to be scrambling to see who you can find as the next face of the league or something like that? You have to prop up your star players because you have some potential there. I look at John Morant. I look at Zion Williamson. I look at Giannis Antetokounmpo. They got some pieces there. Luka Doncic. So that's going to be the key. So for me, when my favorite players retired, I would like for them to try to give younger players advice. I'm all about propping up the younger talent because the show's got to go on. The game is different, and the game is being in a different direction. So, who do you think is the most overrated player in this modern day NBA? Most overrated player in today's modern NBA. This would have to be a guy that gets way, 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 way overhyped. Hmm, that's a very good question. That's a very good question, Black Tiger. I got to think about that one. G Money, I'll come back to you on that one, Black. I kind of lost respect for LeBron for the broken hand after Game 4, and he gave up on the game. Also, last year's disaster in LA was Bron not trusting his teammates. I disagree. I think the Blazers were evenly matched. Oh yeah, thank you for answering that for me, Juanetta. Draymond Green, Draymond Donkey Green. If there's anybody who's overrated in this league, he's a good player, but he's good for that system. That's it. It's Draymond Green. So yeah, Ron says that he knows that JR screwed up uh, on the infamous play, but Ron should have rallied the troops. I mean, the thing is, as a leader, that's what you have to do. You have to rally the troops in that situation. Now, I do blame also Tyronn Lue. I blame George Hill for missing that free throw. But again, you have 5 minutes in overtime. Think what that would do to Golden State. You beat a team where you weren't expected to win because Golden State was a favorite going into that game. You beat them, it looks a little bit different. People now start to say, "Oh man, can Golden State possibly lose the series? Like, do LeBron and the Cavaliers have a chance?" And the thing is, if you trust me, the media would have gone ballistic if LeBron James and them beat the Golden State Warriors. They start to think that they could beat them, and then Nick Wright would have been talking. That's the problem. These guys go two sides out of their asses once it doesn't fit their narrative. Trust me. Many people had Toronto losing to Philly. Heck, Damian Jones thought Orlando would have upset Toronto. Right. Yep. I do love my golden eras, man. I watched my younger years, 90 to 2003, but I do understand change and have to learn about the new stars coming into the NBA. Exactly, Black Tiger. Good point. Raduni says Brad Stevens equals overrated this year. He has chemistry between the players, four scores with healthy Hayward and big improvement of Tatum, but still behind an injured Toronto, also 2 games above Miami Heat. I can't lie, Raduni. That's actually a really good point. That's actually a really good point. That is actually a very good point. You would think that Boston could be a little bit better. And remember, they lost Terry Rozier in the offseason, so that's important too. Um, Shout out to Poseidon Swag, man. Um, Appreciate you coming through. He says if the Cavs had won game one, the Warriors would have won in six. I agree with you because they had two winnable games. Game one went down to the wire, and they lost. The Cavs lost in overtime. Game two, the Cavs were in that game until Curry got hot in the fourth quarter, and then obviously the Warriors pulled away, and that was with Kevin Durant not playing his best the first 2 games. Game three, that game was also down the wire too. It's just they didn't execute down the stretch. And that was with Curry going 3 for 16 and Klay Thompson going 2 for whatever. I don't remember, but they struggled. They only made 5 field goals combined in that game. Cleveland lost the game barely with the two best shooters going ice cold in that game. It took Durant's 43 to win. Think about that for a second. And LeBron got crazy contributions from people. I don't know if the Warriors get upset, but the thing is, Cleveland would have put up, it would have been much more competitive and it's a better fight because it was a competitive series. This is an unpopular opinion. If Zion doesn't lose that weight and change his gameplay, he's going to be another T Mac or Derrick Rose. And I think I know what you mean by that. You're thinking in terms of the injuries. T Mac was injury prone. Derrick Rose was injury prone for 2 reasons. Number one was because he was reckless with his body, being a young player, with the way he planted his feet to always get the burst of speed to go by defenders when he would make his crossovers. But number two, it was Tom Thibodeau because he kept overplaying Derrick Rose so many minutes. He never really tried to use his bench. He never tried to mix lineups. He relies too much on his starters and they get worn down. And Derrick's body worn down very quickly for a young player. It just wore down, and that's what happened. You know, Clay was 4 of 11 and Curry was 3 of 16. They went 7 for 27. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so I'm gonna put a stop to this stream, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate everybody coming through for this one. We're gonna come back at at about 9:30, so in about 20 minutes or so. Um, yeah, they would have definitely had the confidence, but I definitely appreciate everybody coming through with the Lakers and Clippers preview. I'm looking forward to that game. By the way, before I close this stream out, let me know who you guys think is actually going to win that matchup when the players return. And before I get started, before we come back, I'm actually going to do lineup for lineup when it comes to both the starting lineup and then their benches in a future video. But again, ladies and gentlemen, let me know who you guys think will win that matchup on July 30th. But we will wait and see, man. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, there's your boy Lewis. Appreciate you guys coming through. Take care. We'll be back with the Miami Heat. Pull up for that one. Miami Heat fans, I'm looking for y'all to pull up on that video. Again, as always, from the Lewis Sports Network. Bless up, live, laugh, love. Thank you for watching. And also, thank you for being part of the stream. Like, subscribe, share the videos on your social media outlets. Before I go, G Money says, in your opinion, had the Cavs somehow beat the Warriors, where would you have put LeBron in your top 10 list? Well, let's see. LeBron would have been 4-5 in the finals. That puts him at 44%. His case becomes stronger as a top 10 player. Ryan's got the Clippers in 6 if they play, and Thing in 7. Members depth and deep team. Anyway, take care, guys. See you in the Miami Heat video coming up. Make sure you guys like the video for that one.